Hey, Big Brother fans, I'm Ryan Duvall with Andrew Cox, and we are self-proclaimed Big Brother super fans. And in honor of the Celebrity Big Brother premiere starting tonight, we figured we'd start a podcast so we could talk all things Big Brother. So, Andrew?
Yes.
What do you got for me? What do you think? What do you think? Big Brother, Celebrity Big Brother, the first Celebrity Big Brother of the U.S. What's going through your head?
That's right. Well, I've been pumped for it, but they dropped that cast list and it kind of.
Yeah. So, well, all right. Since we're speaking of cast, who are your favorites? Who are you thinking will be the most exciting to see? If anyone.
Omarosa and Meta World Peace. That's about it.
Omarosa, yeah, that's one of my favorites too. Every good reality show needs a villain, and she's proven herself to be a great villain. She's been on Celebrity Apprentice and just the Irregular Apprentice. That's where she was discovered. So she's definitely, she knows her way around villainous reality TV roles. So I'm excited for her. And then obviously I think Mark McGrath would be fun. He's aged horribly. His profile photo for the show, he just looks awful. But I think he and Omarosa were one of the few people that I knew. Ross Matthews was another just because I knew him from his stint on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. He did a few segments with him. But everyone else,
Is that where I know him from? I don't.
Most
he
likely.
Looks familiar, but is he like on the E or something?
Yeah, he did Fashion Police and things like that before.
That's what it is.
Yeah. And I don't know about you, but there's a handful of people that I have no idea who they are. I'll begin with Ariadna Gutierrez. No idea on her profile.
Okay.
For Big Brother.
She was a Miss Universe for like 2.5 minutes.
Oh, was she the one that Steve Harvey?
She was the one. Steve Harvey was like, I'm sorry, I gotta come in here real quick. You are the runner up,
Gotcha. Okay, so Steve Harvey made her career. So
right, she has
that going for her.
That's the biggest stretch of the word celebrity.
Well, I was going through her bio on the CBS page, and they asked the question, which past Big Brother cast member do you like the most? And her answer is, I don't particularly have a favorite, which in my eyes means I've never watched it. And so I'm nervous about her because usually the people who have never watched the show don't know how it works, therefore they aren't any good. So that for me right there tells me she's going to be just useless this season.
Well, I mean, do we even know how it's going to work this season? Because it's so much shorter.
It is. It's a lot shorter. I can't imagine
they're following the regular format.
13 episodes within less than a month span. So the scheduling is completely horrendous. I mean, out of the 13 episodes, it's a total of 17 hours. So we only have 17 hours of content for the whole season, as opposed to, I mean, we had 40 plus episodes on a regular season of Big Brother. And so I'm not too sure why.
It's going to follow the same like HOH, veto, nominations. Is there going to be jury? Is this America's voting for the winner?
With only 13 episodes, there's no way they could do the same format unless it's like as if it were like a double eviction episode in a regular season where they just go through and, do multiple competitions per episode. But, I mean, I have no idea. I don't even understand what the prize is because they're celebrities. I would assume that they're playing for charity. I mean, this wouldn't be money in their pocket. But they're also pretty Z-list stars, so I feel like our bank accounts would be the same look as theirs. So I don't know if they're gonna do charity or not.
I mean, I'm sure they're getting paid for their time, but I think the the prize probably going to charity.
I don't know.
But I do think they'll have America either vote. Well,
At least for
they've already
finale.
been in there for a week, so I guess we're not going to be able to vote for evictions, but maybe we'll have like a vote.
Well, hopefully they haven't evicted
in
anyone
the final
yet.
jury. I don't know. I mean, there's only 11 people. They've already done.
It's true. It's a smaller cast.
Well, what do you think happens when they're evicted? Because I can't imagine they're.
I would say their time is up.
To have the jury house right now and send people there.
Well, that's the thing.
For such a short amount of time. I'm
sure since they're quote unquote celebrities that they are somewhat busy. But I would assume that they have signed their contract and they know that for this whole month you are scheduled to be a part of the show. So I could understand, having them somewhat as a jury. I don't think it'll be like a sequester house, but I'm sure they'll put them in a nice hotel room and then they'll come back for finale night and probably vote or have some sort of involvement in picking the winner, I would think.
You think there's any chance they do something like where they get voted out, but they stay in the house? Like they can't play in the games and they can't vote to evict, but they're still there.
No, I would think that they'd be wasted space if they did that. Because I think that's part of, for me at least, part of the fun of reality shows is watching the size of the cast dwindle down. And I think if everyone stays, it looks as if nothing is happening and nothing's progressing, in my opinion. So I would not necessarily like that option, but you could be right. That could happen.
Yeah, I wouldn't like it either, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like that. Since it is celebrities, they want to keep them there as long as possible. I don't know.
All right, so I'm looking at the 11 cast members for this season. We talked about who we had our eyes on. So would you want to, let's make do a draft? Do dodgeball style?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so there's 11 people, 2 of us, so we'll have one sit out. That one sit out, what will be that person's role? Just fair game, no one takes them, or?
Yeah, that'll be the listener's player.
Listener's player. All right, guys. Hopefully you get someone decent. Hopefully. All right, so Andrew, you want to go first? You start this draft off. Pick your first member.
I'm going first.
Well, okay. All right. Should we name off our cast first, so everyone's aware?
Yeah, let's go all the way through it.
Okay. All right. We talked quickly about. I can't even pronounce her name. Ariadna
Gutierrez.
All right. So she is the Steve Harvey creation. Then we have Brandy Lynn Glanville.
Is she from like Housewives or something?
She is from, yeah. Well, she's a TV personality and apparently a New York Times best-selling author. I guess since it's not a CBS show, that CBS will not mention it. She is a TV personality. Next up is Chuck Liddell. He is very clearly a UFC fighter. I could have told you that just by looking at the man.
Yeah.
He's scary. And then James Maslow. He was best known for his time on Nickelodeon's Big Time Rush.
Are they still a band?
Or
is that like a fake band for a show?
I would have figured they were a fake band. Oh. I'm not too sure. I couldn't tell you a single song of theirs if I tried. Next up, Keisha Knight Pulliam. She's a Cosby kid. And the only reason I know who she is because VH1 did a top 100 countdown of cutest childhood stars, and she hosted along with Candace Cameron from Full House. So that's the only reason that I know who this girl is, because I didn't watch the Cosby Show.
They should have got Candace Cameron on here.
She's actually
busy with Full House.
Well, ever since Dancing with the Stars, she's actually done pretty well for herself. So I'm sure she doesn't need it. Hey, she was in a Star Kiss tuna fish ad recently.
Oh,
it's airing now, so she's obviously too good for this show. Obviously.
Well, and Entertainment Weekly says that Keisha was on Celebrity Apprentice. Did you see her on there when you watched that?
If it was this past season with Arnold Schwarzenegger, no, because that was the only season that I did not watch, but I can't honestly say I remember her being on there. I do remember Mark McGrath, he was on, but I do not recall her, which probably doesn't bode well for her. It means that she didn't either do much or did not last long.
Which brings us to our next contestant.
Which I could have called that she was in Hairspray just by looking at her. She kind of looks like Nikki Blanc.
I've never heard of her.
I mean, I don't know her by name, but she Broadway for Hairspray.
And she was apparently on Dancing with the Stars with Shannon and Elizabeth.
The
same season.
Okay, so they already have a relationship there. Huh. We'll see if that plays out.
Marissa Winokur.
Marissa Jarrett Winokur. I don't know. I'm not too... I don't see big things for her. I don't see her. She looks like one of those people, if you're too nice on this show, people take advantage of you. And she just seems like a nice, funny woman that I feel like she'll probably get walked on. That's just my...
She could align with Shannon.
That's true. But next is one of my exciting cast picks is Mark McGrath. I think he's a funny guy, besides from his scary aging. But I think he'll be one to watch. He'll be one to watch. And the next guy, I know nothing about sports, so if you know anything about him, please tell me.
I know his name is Ron Artest. Now he's Meta World Peace. He's in the NBA.
I think he was
in
on...
A really big fight.
He was in Dancing with the Stars too, wasn't he?
Was he?
So all of these people have done the reality show circuit, so I don't think they're any strangers to this type of
he did. He was. He was in Dancing with the Stars.
And then I'll go to the next one is Omarosa. I wonder if this couldn't possibly be the reason that she left her White House position. Could you imagine?
I don't think so.
Working in the White House and saying, "Hey, would you want to do Big Brother?" And she's like, just drop everything and say, "Yeah, I'm so excited to do this. I'm leaving my prestigious White House position." I don't know. We'll see.
What was she even doing there?
Oh, who knows? I don't know. She's probably just walking around.
So did she get her start from The Apprentice?
She did. Yeah, she was on just one of the regular seasons, and I believe that she made it to third place, as most villains usually do. And then she was cut right before the finale. And then she went on Celebrity Apprentice, the very first Celebrity Apprentice, and she made it fairly far again. And that's, I mean, obviously, Trump is a big fan of hers, that he brings her back and gives her a position in his White House. So they have a nice friendship there, and I think he's very aware of ratings and how the villainous cast member helps to bring those in. So he's smart enough to keep her around, whether she deserves it or not.
I've got this clip from The Celebrity Apprentice with her and Piers Morgan, I think sums up the cast pretty good. Tell me if you remember this.
And had we had the high profilers, the celebrities, if Little John had pushed that, maybe somebody in that room would have saw. Let me finish. They may have seen that.
Where are your high profilers?
My high profilers showed up and put the cash down.
Who were these famous people?
Well, famous, maybe not for you, but Paul.
What do you mean by high profile?
They were high profile.
You know, my argument against you has always been you're not a celebrity.
And you
don't have star power.
I do remember that. Actually, Piers Morgan went on to win that season. And that was surprising to me. And that was even before he had his own show on CNN. So he was only on there because he was a judge on America's Got Talent. And then from there, he went on and had his short-lived news program. So that being said, I didn't feel that he even was a high-profile celebrity. I wouldn't consider him one either.
Well, I didn't really understand what was happening in that clip because it looked like he was like interviewing them. So I don't know if he was on the show or what his role was.
That was during their boardroom. So that'll be like their elimination. So Trump probably brought Omarosa and him back into the boardroom, and then they kind of like duke it out as to who should stay and whose fault it was that they lost that challenge. If I remember correctly, that particular challenge was one of the first ones where they just had to sell. They either had a restaurant or like a hot dog stand or something. They just had to sell food, and the celebrities were split up into two teams, and whichever team brought in the most money were safe. And then the team that lost one of their teammates. So that would have been that Omarosa and Piers were on the same team, and one of them pointed blame at the other, and then they were duking it out to see which would stay. And because Piers won, I would assume that was the time where Omarosa got the axe.
Gotcha.
But then our next cast member, Ross Matthews, I know little of him, I know he has a funny voice and knows Jay Leno. Other than that, not too much to tell you.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Look at him a little more. But he's also one of those nice people that could probably get around throughout the house just because he's very easy to get along with, and I see that his favorite Big Brother cast member is Janelle, so you and he have that in common. They asked what he would take into the house, and he said his chihuahuas and Wi-Fi. He can have all the Wi-Fi he wants, but if he doesn't have anything to use it on, it doesn't do anything for him. And then I guess we'll talk about our 11th and final cast member. I know nothing of her. Do you know anything about Shannon Elizabeth?
I don't think I've seen any of the movies that she's in.
What? Do you know any of them?
What was it?
Movies in particular?
She was in American Pie.
Ah, okay. Okay.
And then she was on Dancing with the Stars. Like half the other people. So,
Gotcha.
if you're a fan of Celebrity Apprentice and Dancing with the Stars, this season is amazing.
Yeah.
But if not, I don't know.
They're really trying to go for the reality TV show crowd.
I guess they can't get anyone else.
Yeah, they'll migrate you over. All right. Well, that being said, we've talked about all 11. So should we get down to business and pick our teams?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's do it. You go first.
All right. First pick. I'm going to take McGrath.
Okay. All right. Getting into my territory. Why? Can I ask you why?
Just a gut thing.
Gut. Okay. Well, in that case, I'm gonna have to. I'll choose the most entertaining person. I think Omarosa. Everybody loves a good villain.
That's true. I'm going to take Brandy Lynn.
Okay. And why is that?
Well, most of the cast is older, and a lot of older women. I think they're going to stick together. I think she can make it a while.
Because he seems to be very friendly and would get along with a lot of the cast members, I would assume. I think Ross Matthews would be a safe bet.
That's a good choice. I'll take Shannon Elizabeth. I think, the same thing. There's got to be a girls' alliance going on this season. So I'm gonna try and get her in there.
All right. I'm gonna go with Mr. Peace, Meta World Peace.
Nice.
I think the athletes, if they do challenges, athletic challenges, I feel that he could probably keep up, obviously.
All right, I'm gonna take James Maslow.
All right.
He's young, good looking, seems nice. I'm gonna keep him around.
All right, then my next pick would be Miss Keisha Knight Pulliam.
All right.
Just because, well, if she does join your women's alliance, she'll probably be a part of it. So I'll jump in on that too.
All right. Let's see. I'm gonna take Marissa then. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So the only two left are Ariadna and Chuck Liddell. And see, this is tough. Sadly, you have like the complete opposite of people, but because Chuck just seems like such a literal presence, I feel like he's going to have a target on his back as soon as he comes through. If these cast members play like normal players, they would see that and try to get him out. But the girl just seems young. Her only rise to fame is that Steve Harvey got her name wrong. So I'll pick Chuck Liddell.
All right. Bold choice.
All right. So sorry, viewers. You have Ariadna Gutierrez as your choice. So good luck with that. We're rooting for you. You'll need it.
You did you got a way better you got way better players than I do.
You went first. How is that possible?
With the McGrath.
We'll see what happens. You never know.
Sure, with Omarosa.
It might go. I was glad that that was the one contestant that I was really excited to see, because looking at rumors, I was told that Tiffany New York Pollard would be part of it. I know she did Celebrity Apprentice in the UK, and I just love those VH1 reality shows. So I was really excited for her, but Omarosa is a very good replacement. I'll take that.
Yes, he does.
So who, judging from your team, you think Mark McGrath is going to be the big winner?
I think he's got a good chance. I guess we'll have to see what happens with the women. If they can align, that'd be good. But if not, then they'll all just go after each other, and my whole team will be lost.
As we know from prior Big Brother experiences that a women's alliance rarely ever happens. They just can't seem to. I don't know why. Anytime there's a girl alliance, someone always has to ruin it for another, and it never really gets the steam that it needs to become a powerhouse.
It's true.
But my first pick...
And I don't have Omarosa, so...
Well, that's the thing, though. Omarosa is such a villain that I feel like she's going to rub someone the wrong way, and then she's going to be a target, and she won't last long.
See, that's what I was thinking.
She won't last long, but I feel like she will last long enough that she can make it midway. She won't be first, but she won't be last.
I think Ariadna's going to go further than we think. But, I mean, we still have to see how it's going to play out this season anyway. Who knows?
I have no idea how this is going to work. And to be... I've
how
never
evictions
seen...
are working.
Have you seen Celebrity Big Brother, the UK version, or any of them? I have not either. So I will be going into this with fresh eyes. So I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's that one is completely like viewer dictated. Like they vote people out and they vote the winner, and
yeah,
so it's completely different.
So that could be the case here then.
I sure hope not.
We'll see. We'll see.
I mean, they've pushed enough viewers' choice in the regular season. I hope they just, don't go overboard.
Right.
Like they did on OTT.
That's a whole story for a different day, is that whole season. But I did see photos of the house. It's very gold and gaudy, I guess, to match the celebrity status. It's a lot of gold, a lot of shiny. Looks good though. But
you got pictures of the backyard?
I didn't see any. I just saw the interior. But I was thinking, it's during the winter. How are they going to do that? And then I realized, oh no, it's LA. They're going to be just fine. They'll be completely fine. They'll be in the pool. We'll be in our winter coats.
What do you think about the competitions? I mean, do you think they'll be like cheaper, like on the OTT, or they'll be like full-fledged big show pieces like the regular show?
I think they'll be like the regular show because unlike OTT, it's actually going to be televised and not exclusively web. I think OTT was more of an experiment.
But they're probably going to have like rapid fire competitions because of the time compression. So maybe they won't have as much time to like build the sets out there and stuff.
I don't think many of the episodes are going to be live. So I think what they'll do is they'll do the competition as quickly as possible, and then they'll just edit them together within a single episode. I would say more than just one competition per episode. I mean, that's what you'd have to do with so few airtime, so few episodes and so little airtime.
Probably.
But
I'm excited to see how it works tonight.
Me too. All right, so we'll wrap this up, and Celebrity Big Brother premieres tonight on CBS, 8/7 Central. You guys check it out, and we'll come back tomorrow and talk about what we think and what we think is going to happen and what we expect from the future episodes.